doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out. Yeah.
All right, this one's for my Florida Gator community. We've been struggling over the past couple of years, but it's time to talk about it. I'm about to give you 5 names you guys should keep in mind of who we should consider to be the next coaches at the University of Florida. University of Florida, proud school that I am happy to root for. We're behind in the glory days, and we're a little bit to the party. But it's time. I like Billy Napier. I like what he stands for, but it's time for him to go. If the board was willing to get rid of Dan Mullins, then Billy Napier, I'm sorry. You gotta go. You gotta go too, man. And it's nothing personal. I like you. I don't know you. I like what you stand for. I like how you develop players. I love how you recruit. You're a good recruiter, but we're not getting it done on the field. So it's time for us as Florida fans to kind of look to see who might be the next guy to lead Florida to the promised land. Keep in mind, this is an organization. This is a school. This is an institution that one of the top schools in the SECs in all sports, not just football. We are 3 national championships. We are a long way removed from the Tim Tebow, Chris Leak, Steve Spurrier, Rex Grossman at quarterback type of days, right? So it's time to get back to that. Over the last 10 years, this school has averaged 7-5 win-loss record, all right? And that's not going to get it done, especially for an alumni that believes we're just as good as – I'm not an alumni, but for the fan group and alumni that believe they're just as good as the Alabamas, the Georgias, the top dogs, in the world. So we're about to talk about it. I'm going to give you 2 names that nobody is thinking of, but 2 names that I personally know, 2 coaches that I play for. Then I'm going to give you 3 names that, again, we should consider. You guys let me know what you think, all right? First thing I want to give to you guys, defensive coordinator for the University of – sorry about that. First thing I'm going to give to you guys is the defensive coordinator for University of Rutgers, Joe Harasimiak. Now, you're probably thinking, why Joe Harasimiak? Joe Harasimiak was my defensive backs coach at the University of Maine. Went on to be the head coach at the University of Maine a couple years after. We did go on to coach at the University of Minnesota before coming back to Jersey, his home state, to coach under Greg Schiano. This guy can relate to young players. He can recruit. He's changed the culture. You see where Rutgers is now. They're undefeated, had a good win versus Virginia Tech last week. This is a long shot. I do not believe he will get even a sniff at an interview, but it's a name to consider when you start looking at head coaching jobs for the FBS level. Joe Harasimiak is definitely someone that is going to get his shot at some point. All right. The next name I want to give you, and you're probably looking at a screen like, who could he be thinking of? I am thinking of the defensive coordinator, Joe Rossi, Michigan State. Now you're probably asking, why Joe Rossi? Again, this is a homer pick, but I do believe he's a good coach. Joe Rossi was my coach at the University of Maine. Then we'll go on to coach at the University of Rutgers, then go to Central Michigan, and then go to Minnesota. Yes. And then go to Minnesota. I had to understand the timeline. Now he's at Michigan State. Another great guy, great mind, knows how to put a great game plan together, knows how to scheme, knows how to recruit as well. And if you could kind of see the theme I'm going with defensive guys is Florida is a great product to watch when the defense is good, and primarily when the secondary is good. All of our good defensive teams have had a great secondary. And just like Joe Harasimiak, Joe Rossi is another guy that can recruit and develop and coach that secondary. And again, another guy, I don't think he'll get a sniff, but it's someone we should consider and think about. And I'm gonna drive the ship for that one. All right. Now I'm gonna give you 3 names that are a little bit more popular and maybe a little bit more realistic. One of those names is a name that is making splashes right now all over the college scene. That's DeAnton Lynn. The DeAnton Lynn defensive coordinator, another defensive coordinator for USC. DeAnton Lynn was a defensive back. He went to Penn State. His dad played in the NFL, Anthony Lynn. I actually had the opportunity of meeting him when he was the coach for the Bills. DeAnton Lynn is someone who you could see is changing the program at USC and changing how that they play defense. They're a team that, well, the number one thing was tackling. They're tackling a lot better now than what they did in the past. It comes from the Ravens lineage in regards to, and I don't want to take credit for this. I'm going to give credit to the person I heard this from, which is Joel Klatt. And the way the Ravens defense or philosophy is built is you have big guys up front, create pressure or simulate pressure in the middle, and have aggressive man-to-man coverage guys in the back. You see that in Michigan with Wink, Martindale, who's a D coordinator, the anti-Lynn has shown he could take a new roster and coach them around, and they're instantly that much better. And he has a defensive back history. I would love him down in Florida. I would love the anti-Lynn down in Florida. I think he deserves an interview. I think he has a chance to get an interview, but we'll see. Another name, this could be a long shot. I don't think it'll happen, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on for a number of reasons. And that is the man you're about to see on your screen. Coach Prime. Coach Prime. Now, will this happen? I don't know. Let me be realistic. I don't think this is going to happen. Hold on, let me pull up that video. Not video, the picture. While that's loading, let's do this. I don't think it's going to happen. Coach Prime has stated that he plans to stay at Colorado. I think he likes his situation now, and what he's done with the program, what he means to that community, what he means to Colorado in general, not only from marketing, but from everything else included as well. He's changed Boulder. He's changed Boulder. But the reason why I think he could be considered, he's an option to come back home to Florida, recruit the state of Florida in the SEC. He might be back with Carmani, but that's a story for a different day. But this is literally in his backyard. This is in his home state. This is his area of the country that he will relish in. Guys are coming to play for Colorado, but he's not getting the guys. I don't care what no one said. He's not getting the guys he thought he was going to get. He's getting some guys. He's definitely making some key changes and key signings, but he's not getting the guys. You go to Florida, you'll get the guys. All right. It's been a little interesting at times, but whatever. He will make Florida relevant. And yesterday, like, Florida will be back in the mix, and no question. And then we'll see how things go with coaching on the field and stuff like that. But Coach Prime will be another one, a long shot, but I'm not ruling it out. And lastly, I think this is a name we all kind of been hearing and knowing about, and that's Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin. I think Lane Kiffin is going to be their number one prospect. I think he's going to be their number one target. I think they're going to throw the bag at him. We'll see if he leads Ole Miss. I don't know if he does, if I'm being honest. He's changed that program. He's in a good spot. He's coached at FIU, so he has that Florida ties. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I would love Lane. I would love all these coaches, but I'm being perfectly honest with you. But, again, we'll see how it goes. So, locker room, you let me know what you think. I gave you 5 names. Let me know what you think about all of them. Again, I can give you some more insight on Joe Harris-Simiak and Coach Joe Rossi as well. But the anti-Lane, Coach Prime, Lane Kiffin, I believe, could be the top 3 candidates to land the Florida job, but we'll see. In the meantime, go Gators. I'll be hibernating. I think, it's going to be a rough October for us. But, we're gonna make it through. All right. Locker room, let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Let's talk it out.